Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be going over how I read the Bible in a year. And I'm starting this series because I'm being obedient. I've had this inspiration for several years, but always felt like I didn't have the time and I kept putting it off. And I actually attempted a couple of times, always failed. Well, when I say attempted, I mean maybe 1 day or 2 days, but then always failed. So at the end of 2024, the urge got stronger and I knew I had to do it. So today, I'm going to outline 5 things that I did and would recommend. And so I finally read the Bible, the entire Bible, for the first time in 2025. And these are the things that I did. So one, I select where I would read from. I would usually use the YouVersion Bible app and to do my devotions as I do daily devotions first thing in the morning. And so I decided to start with the plan in the YouVersion Bible app because it has a plan which takes you through the Bible in a year. And so that was easy enough to start with because there is a dedicated plan and all you've got to do is to go through it. The second thing that I did was to choose a specific time that I would read. And I chose a specific time to read so that I could build consistency, and I knew that this was the time that I've set aside to do this. And I did this right after completing my daily devotions. Also, I did this at the first thing in the day because I've always heard about the principle of first, and so giving God your first. And so I decided that I would give God the first part of my day before the noise and everything else set in. My mind is clear, I can think clearly, and set the right pace for the day. So I decided that I would have done that the first thing in the morning. That came with a bit of commitment because that meant I had to get up a little bit earlier. As I said, I would usually do my daily devotion. And so to put that part in to actually read, do some additional reading, I had to get up a little bit earlier. And so I set my alarm. And so I would get up about a half an hour to 1 hour earlier each day. The third thing that I did was to create a designated space for this. And so for years when I attempted the 1 or 2 times, I would wake up, start reading in my bed, and of course you can just imagine what happened. I fell right back asleep. And so this time around I decided that I would find a designated spot away from the bed, away from that comfort, so I would be able to be alert and to focus. The next thing that I did, and so that's the fourth thing that I did, was to take notes. I decided that as I read, I wanted to be engaged with what I was reading. And so by writing it down, it would allow me to process what I was reading, making it more meaningful for me. And so I decided that I would take notes of the main things that I thought the chapter was saying, so summarizing it in my own words, as well as I found that as I read, I got an inspiration of the meaning. And so I wrote that down. And the fifth thing that I did was I remained consistent. There was a point where things became busy and I found that I had so many things to do, which required me to get up earlier. And so if I was getting up early to do other things, then that would of course be getting into my time with reading. And so I had to decide, am I going to get up a little bit earlier? What am I going to do? So for those times, the reading became a little bit different. So I didn't read as much. I listened a little bit more, didn't take as much notes, but I still read and I remained consistent to at least listen. And for those days when it was not so busy, I played to catch up and to document what I read. And so I documented what I read and then tried to catch up, but still always remaining consistent, ensuring that I was reading. And so if you're thinking about it, I would encourage you, if you're thinking about it, if you have got that prompting, to go ahead and to start, right? Establish a routine, because that's what I had to do. And as I did it, it became easier. It became easier because one, I wanted to finish what I start. And two, as I developed a streak, so it showed you how many days you were. And so you wanted to remain that streak. I didn't want to fall behind. And so it prompted me to remain consistent over the year. And so today, this Easter Sunday, it's a little bit late. I was hoping to get this up earlier. It is a good time to start. This is the day where we had the Savior dying on the cross and rising today. So today, on this Easter Sunday, on this, the Risen Sunday, when we've gotten more life, we've gotten hope. We know that there is a risen Savior, which gives us hope for the future. It's a good time to start and make a new commitment. And so if this is something on your heart, this is something that you've been thinking about, you've probably been procrastinating like I did for many years, I would prompt you to go ahead and get started. So in upcoming uploads, I'm going to be also documenting some of the notes that I took, some of the inspiration that I got, the learning that I got from what I read. And so stay tuned and come with me on this journey. Let me know what you think. So in the comments, I would love to hear if you've had a similar experience, what worked for you, how did you do it? All right. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.